at EPL mouth of look back at and look forward at the EPL matches that's coming up this week. First of all, let's have a look at your online comments, man. It's always fun. Hey, G Neville too. I got a fan here that says Han Keong is back in the house. Hey, yeah, I'm back after 2 weeks, man. All right, Ruth Van Wong too. Well, obviously he spotted the Spurs fan. Such a good team. Pity the Spurs fan. Such a good team, but the form is really bad now. Is it Juan de Ramos' fault or just plain bad luck? Sell Bale to United. Do you think it's bad luck or just Ramos' fault?
I think a bit of both, because when we talk about Ramos' fault is because he changed the team wholesale. So he said that he needs 15 games to get it settled down. But
it's a bit too late, right?
But 2 points on 8 games, so you need another 2 points on 8 games. But time is running out. But there's another comment saying that
yeah, let's look at another comment.
Devastating. Can I answer that?
Right up that. Am I?
Yeah, just
okay. Yeah, dear Spurs fan Ashraf says, dear Spurs fan, how long more do you think that the Spurs board is going to tolerate Mr. Ramos with the team's recent devastatingly bad performances? How do you think?
Depending on how they perform next 4 games, because if I'm not wrong,
you didn't say. Okay, Bolton.
We talk about EPL.
Bolton, Arsenal,
Liverpool, and Man City.
Man City.
Nice. So depending how many points they going to chalk up.
So is it because Juan de Ramos put in a sort of like those European managers come in with a system which hard for the Spurs players who are not too good to adapt to that kind of new system? It's like Benitez, when he came in, he also struggled, and Liverpool finished 5th below Everton. No, but do you see the same case with Ramos? But if it's even more serious.
Of course, I agree with you that it's more serious. When Benitez came, Liverpool, they're not doing well. At least you don't struggle at the bottom. 2 points out of 8 games is not acceptable, especially when you have spent 60 millions on purchases, all this. So
yeah.
The players they are selling, I think they are doing pretty well.
Actually, yeah.
but Robbie, they start scoring. So
oh well, you have your ups, you have your downs, and this poor guy is.
But
really
I think
suffering.
To comment on that, I mean, go back to the start of the season. Ramos brought them their first trophy.
League Cup.
In how many seasons?
Yeah.
The last manager to bring that trophy was ex-Arsenal manager George Graham. And what did they do to him? And I think, I mean, I'll be glad if they go. I'll be very honest, because I like Spurs fans, but I hate Spurs. You can only go so far in blaming the manager. I mean, one moment he's your savior, next moment he's this. I think, I shouldn't say this because they might get a hint. I mean, who are they going to bring in? If they get rid of him, who are they going to bring in? Which credible manager will want to do the job? The best thing they can do now is leave Ramos to manage with the players he's got. At the end of the day, he is a good manager. He's won the UEFA Cup twice. Very few teams, only Spanish teams, have actually retained the UEFA Cup. No other countries' teams have retained the UEFA Cup. So you can go on a whim, sack him like they got rid of Martin Yeo. And look how well he's doing. and then Ramos will go somewhere and be a success. And who are you going to bring in? And can that person bring them out of the mess?
That's when your Joe Kenyas of the world come in.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what
after a 50-word expletive commentary interview.
Unfortunately, we can't show that clip.
We can.
But anyway, back to our review of our EPL matches. Of course, Arsenal. Don't forget, Arsenal and Manchester United were also involved in the action. Safe to say that they also won, but it's like both games are like games of 2 halves. First half, Arsenal and Man United were totally crap, but but
carry on.
They still managed to win convincingly when second half comes. Let's start with Arsenal. They face Everton.
Nasri's goal, man. They're missing the best goal out.
They face Arsenal at Emirates Stadium. So
great goal by Walcott.
They
good play by Diaby.
Well, they trailed 1-0 at halftime, but managed to turn things around with great goals and great football again. And so with Theo Walcott, scoring the third goal. So do you think that Theo Walcott now in his form, Arsene Wenger is still trying to protect him here and then and say, he bluff say, he won't play against Everton and this and that. But do you think that Theo Walcott needs to play right now?
Put it this way, I think he doesn't have much choice. Now that Bakary Sagna is out, Galas is out, Toure is out, he'll have to bring Ibue down to right back. That leaves the way open. I think there comes a point where you just got to give the boy a chance. And the only way he's going to get better if he plays week in, week out. For me, the man of the match was, if not Clichy, was Nasri.
Sabir Nasri.
I mean,
first goal
we
was
talk
great.
about Adebayo, but I'm really getting annoyed with the fella. One, he's supposed to be up there battering ram, which he did very well last season, putting his body on the line, panicking the defenders. He now fancies himself as Thierry Henry, drifts out wide, drifts out left. When he gets chances, him and Van Persie are missing. And you cannot say they need time. Nasri, first season in here, has not been a regular starter, but he scored crucial goals. He is clinical and he's a midfielder, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? So, this argument about Van Persie needs time, Adebayo, I'm getting a bit annoyed with them.
I was having a look at the papers this morning. You know who's the top assist stats in Premiership? It's Adebayo.
Adebayo?
So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him, but say something.
But okay, but Adebayo, everybody, but still Arsenal need a mini wake up call again. After their Hull defeat, they got a big wake up call, so they beat Porto convincingly in the Champions League. Now against Everton, by halftime they were struggling again. And you need another wake up call in order for them to play on. How many wake up calls do you need in order for Arsenal to really challenge for a title?
I think that is the point. You see, the problem with wake up calls, you're supposed to only have one. Anyone who has a snooze alarm, you realize after a few times of hitting the snooze, the alarm will just stay off. So I was actually not very happy with the game. I'm glad with the comeback and reaction, but to be very honest, I was reading the blogs. Would Wenger have brought on Walcott if Toure hadn't gone off injured? And this is what is troubling me.
That's why
He is a good manager. He's the best manager for a club. If we got rid of him, I don't know who will come in. I'm not saying we get rid of him, but there comes a point where he must do his job. I'll give you an example. Alex Song comes in. I was hoping Alex Song will come in. He puts him at right back. Now, in itself, it's not a big deal because a defensive midfielder actually adapts well to the fullback positions. Flamini proved that very well. But when you're missing key defenders, you cannot afford to take a risk. He should have sacrificed that bit of creativity, because I don't think Song would have been as effective as a right midfielder. But go for the defense. Bring your bull back down. Play a tight defense. Sacrifice a bit. If it's not working, you can make changes. You put him in defense. If he makes a mistake, like what happened, crucial goal is considered. It was such a soft goal. Danielson wasn't tracking. Song went missing. If you want to bring Alex Song, play him in his role, defensive midfield role. Stick Danielson outright, because he can do something there. And I think this is what is worrying me, and I think other Arsenal fans, that the players, at the end of the day, tactics and formations don't win games. Players win games. But the manager must make it as easy as possible. You tried it out, it didn't work, change something. It's almost as if the change was enforced on him, and that's how it worked. So that's why I said I'm still not optimistic, because nothing has changed. I'm glad they won. I'm glad that they put in performance, but I think you hit the nail on the head. How many wake-up calls you need? You keep hitting snooze, after a while the alarm's going to just stop.
Precisely. And I bet Alex Ferguson must have given his players a wake-up call in the match against West Brom. It was 0-0 at halftime at Old Trafford. Hello. So next thing you know, second half comes and Man U are back at their devastating style and they beat them flat 4-0. Now, Shawa, as we look at the clip, do you think that like he said, do you need so many wake-up calls and now that to get into the groove again?
We haven't needed that many this season, actually. I think we've been warming up, and like I said in previous episodes, we will get there eventually. It's typical of United to come in late. It's 8 games, so yeah. And of course, adding to that, I think we've got the right mix of experience and youth. that is another thing that is not usually taken into account. The likes of Gixie and Nev around, that's the kind of thing that wins you cups. Actually, it's the same system that's working for Chelsea. With they brought in winners, players who know how to win at the top level. So it's not. While I admire what Arsene is doing with the youth there, they still lack that bit of experience that actually takes them through that extra 5-10 minutes.
Well, speaking of youthfulness, this guy, 22-year-old, is terrorizing everybody in the league, and his name is Wayne Rooney. Do you think that, Shawa? Do you think? I mean, you told me that he's one of your favorite players.
Yeah.
Is this the very best form he is ever having right now?
Now, if you look at his first season, that was his best form. That was phenomenal form. You couldn't get the ball off his feet. Now, and also the funny thing is that Rooney celebrated doing that sliding thing, the same thing that Walker did. That's very ironic, because what happened there is that Rooney's become a match winner, a game breaker, and that was the same thing that brilliance from Walcott won, practically, technically wrapped up the game for Arsenal also. So that's the kind of player he's becoming, and also why I think probably Arsenal should be looking at Walker around more.
So this season is about forget about Ronaldo. It's Wayne Rooney time right now.
I mean that's why when depth comes in, you have players off form and someone takes over. Ronaldo goes off and Rooney comes over. Of course, we would like everyone to play well together, but then again, the old adage says, too many cooks for the proof also.
Just have one good enough, really.
Even Tevez is not.
Tevez I say is
enough play time.
I think he shaved his head. It helped.
I think Bota, it looks like
you see many kids under the block now starting to shave their heads, kicking balls.
Right. I mean, all right. So all four top clubs, all big four EPL clubs got their 3 points.
On the Saturday, they were the only teams that won. All the rest drew 0-0.
Yeah. All the rest 0-0. But anyway, let's have a look at the table, bottom 5 and top 5, and see where the teams are at. Can we? We have the top 5 first. All right. Okay. No change at the top 2. Chelsea, Liverpool.
Told you.
Hull City. My goodness, they've already got 5 wins, and they're thought to be going to be relegated. Oh, and Man U makes the first appearance. At the top 5.
Top 5 out of the top 4 still. Knocked out by Hull.
And look at the first row, which is 7, and the rest.
In all fairness, they have a game in hand.
Yes. So
and
I hate to say this, but I told you
and
so.
If they win that game in hand, sorry Arsenal, they're gonna go above you. Let's look at the bottom half. Does Arsenal fans, do you look more often at the bottom right now than the top?
I think apart from Tottenham being so low and Arsenal fans are happy because it's Tottenham, I think there's a bigger thing here, because just above Tottenham are Newcastle.
And just about 3 spots above Newcastle are Everton, Liverpool.
Everton will make it up. Everton will make it up. But I think the bigger point here is, I mean, to be neutral and not have a go at Spurs, this happened to Leeds. One moment Champions League semi-final. Where are they now? 2 divisions down.
Yeah.
And I think this is...
But they have mismanagement, sort of like mismanagement of their funds, whereas Spurs are pretty healthy financially.
Too healthy.
A bit too healthy, like you said. But do you think Spurs, how many more games do you really need to climb out? I mean, of course, ASAP.
Yeah.
But realistically, do you think, where will you get your first win? Bolton.
Hopefully against Bolton. I mean, you need 1 win to start off.
Wow, and then I hope Arsenal and Liverpool fans don't.
Ironically, I think Spurs will get their first win at Arsenal. Because looking at the way Spurs will raise their game, and Arsenal, I think by that time will be a bit complacent. I hope it never happens, but I think the irony though, if they win against Arsenal, it will do them more harm than good, because they think they may have turned the corner. The problem with Spurs now, I think Sean, you said this, they don't have fighters. The problem now is every team is going to go there expecting to get 3 points off Spurs. Yeah. And do they have players who want to fight week in, week out, like the sides that come up, like Hull?
Well,
I don't think they do.
They got some who fought, and literally...
football fight, not
Gareth Bale and Michael Dawson got themselves sent off. Defensively, now you have...
Ledley King.
Ledley King just making his way back. But immediately you got Gareth Bale and Michael Dawson suspended.
But they should have let go of Paul Robinson.
Which is true. You think it's just happening too much too quickly? It's a case.
Because if you like what I've said, if you want to change it wholesale, make sure you're responsible for it. So I tend to agree with Ben saying that actually he should stay behind and pick up the pieces. 15 games, I think it's too many.
Too many.
I think next 5 games, but luck is not on his side because you're talking about facing the big guns, Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal.
Well, let's hope they don't give more grief to our fan here. So
Get a few more wins, then during the January transfer window, they need
change more.
get
some
you
fighters.
can get Dennis Wise. Get Dennis Wise.
Yeah, bring him out of retirement. man.
Defensive
Yeah.
midfielders, get him in.
Then
man.
Ramos
Get
will be,
him in.
will be Dennis Wise.
Yeah.
Get some
He'll be Dennis Wise.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep your comments coming in. We'll show more of them and have a good laugh after the commercial. But let's go for this commercial right now.